All right, good morning, everybody. Thursday, February 12th, 2026. It's going to be my Friday because we're off tomorrow because we have to take the wife to the doctor. She has another orthopedic appointment to set up a surgery to repair her torn meniscus. So we need to take day off because she's uncomfortable driving down in the traffic in the Lehigh Valley. So today's our Friday. But I'm gonna try doing this again. I brought the cameras out on Tuesday, and things went sideways, and I decided to scrap the whole project. And so we're gonna try again today and hope things go better. And throughout the course of the day, I may tell you what all happened and why I ended up scrapping it. But anyway, we just fired this baby up, and then we're gonna go out and do our pre-trip, check the lights, tires, suspension, brakes, all that good stuff, and then we're gonna get going. Alright, so we are making our way out the road to get to 309. First two loads of the day are going to come out of Red Barn and go down to Fogelsville. And then we go up to Tamaqua and grab one for Hazelton. And then once we deliver that first Hazelton, then we go to the Hazelton well and grab two more for Hazelton. And then that will be our day. I have to fix the passenger door again. My night shift partner loads and unloads her stuff out of that passenger door, and then when she closes it at the end of her shift, she doesn't close it all the way. So now I've got major wind noise coming off that door, plus a cold draft. Not that it's terribly cold out, but it does create a draft in here. It's 31, but that's where the temperature is going to stay all day long. There's going to be no warm up from that 31. It's going to stay right there. It's going to be windy at times. So up there at Hazelton, we may have blizzard going on back there where we unload the truck. I don't know. We will see. But they're just about out here to 309 now. Let's see if this is going to be difficult left turn or an easy left turn. All depends on traffic volume at the particular moment. Now, nothing's coming from the right out of Tamaqua at the moment, and nothing is coming from the left off the mountain. So easy peasy today. Just the way we like it. So it's gonna be partly sunny, partly cloudy. Flurries off and on here and there. One of those type of days. This warm-up that I had talked about in the last video from last week didn't quite pan out. It did get moderate. It did get warmer than the brutal cold of the weekend, but never really got much above freezing. So nothing melted, and just wasn't as warm as what they said it was going to be. Now, next week it's supposed to go up in the mid to upper 40s. I'll believe it when I see it. Because every time they call for a warm-up, it gets pushed back in time and gets muted. So, all right, so we're here loading up this first one, and for the first time in the last couple days, I didn't have to loop the building and set up and do it all over again. And when they added this second hose, they changed things, and I still haven't got it dialed in as to exactly where I need to be. The hoses are shorter. You got to get kind of close to that little concrete wall there, so sometimes I worry about hitting it and knocking it over because it's not all that sturdy. But anyway, we got it on the first shot today, so we are hooked up. We're loading, and I will talk to you a little more inside the building because it's just windy and cold. It's going to be a little bit echoey in there, but it's just too cold to stand out here and talk to you guys. All right, so we're at 3,300 gallon already. So this one does load pretty fast. We're halfway done. But it's just so cold out there. It's so windy. It's blowing the dust out of the parking lot and swirling it around and the little mini dust devils. And this winter just does not want to let go. This cold weather just does not want to let go. And I think I'm going to have a fun time later on when I do my 3 Hazeltons because it's a north wind and there's still snow up on that roof. So I'm going to be dealing with a blizzard when I'm hooking up and unhooking my hoses up there. I almost guarantee it unless the winds subside later on. So I'll show you that. But and that was part of the reason why I got a little bit grumpy on Tuesday and decided it wasn't good to put the video up, because I don't know what happened, but since I got the Lansdale delivery dialed in, and even on the busiest rush hour moments, I can get in that parking lot and do what I need to do with minimal traffic disruption. Ever since we got that dialed in, I haven't gone up there anymore. The schedule changed, and now the night shift guy is doing all 3 of them, and so in lieu of doing those, now I do a couple down to Fogelsville and then a few up to Hazleton, or sometimes all Hazletons, so I don't know. But it's so cold and windy up there, it's worse than here. It's a different climate, as I told you. Winter months are harsh. And so I don't think it's going to be fun up there when I get to that point. So we'll see, and I'll show you if it's really nasty up there. But all right, moving right along. Just went through New Tripoli, coming down here to the turn to go down Route 100, and the 10 miles left on the trip that takes us down to Fogelsville. The sign will say 8 miles, but that's basically almost to Tillman Street 22, so we got an extra 2 miles to go beyond that. But dummy me forgot to fix that passenger door. I wanted to close it properly when I was loading up there, and of course making sure I had my hammer and alcohol and cold weather tools. I forgot to do it, so hopefully when I get down here to the plant, once I get hooked up and unloading, I will remember to close it, because like I said, the wind noise is a little bit annoying and it allows a cold draft to come inside. So I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully we don't sit down there. Hopefully both loads that I do down here, I get in and out and don't have to sit, because that'll make the day longer, because I'll still have to make sure I get my 3 Hazleton loads, because it's not as easy to drop those if you start running out of time. And that's what happened to me on Tuesday too, was things went sideways that day, and everything became discombobulated, and I got pushed right up into my partner's start time, actually beyond it. She comes in about 8:30 like I do, so I can pre-trip the truck and do everything we need to do to roll by 9, and I didn't get back till 9:30 that night, so she had to wait on me, and I don't like when that happens, but that's kind of what happened, because really can't drop those loads up there. It's a little different than down here where multiple companies bring water in. Up there we're the only ones, so if we drop them, it causes them to be short. So I ended up having to do the loads, and then I got back after my partner's start time. So. But anyway, we're keeping on, and if nobody's down there, I'll be able to talk to you. If there's other trucks down there, it'll be a little harder, but we'll see what we can do. Well, it's a good thing I'm not claustrophobic, because boy, am I boxed in. JB Hunt and this guy to my left waiting to make left turns, whoever it is that's in front of me here, and Kane over here to my right. I feel boxed in. Oh man, I imagine if somebody actually was claustrophobic, this might panic them just a little bit, and it's a little tight. But anyway, we're down here in Fogelsville and almost to the plant. We'll talk to you when we get there. I just wanted to show you this because it's kind of unusual to be boxed in this bad. All right, so we're empty and we're rolling on out of here. I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys because there were drivers there unloading, and I'll have to tell you too that there was a little glitch that I lost a half hour of time with. Oh, okay, this guy's gonna wait for me. These laser guys are usually good at letting us go through because they know we're leaving. So my pump wouldn't start. I went in and entered my information, checked in, did the offload button, pump wouldn't start. Went back in, did it again, pump wouldn't start. Got one of their techs to come out, he tried doing a couple different things, pump wouldn't start. So I had to wait till one of the other two guys got done and left, and I had to move over to the vacant pump, and then I was able to unload. But I lost a half hour's worth of time sitting around waiting until I could get an open pump to unload on. So we're set back at least a half hour now. I don't know if y'all guys remember Bad Luck Schlep Rock from the Flintstone Kids back in the 1970s, a spin-off of the regular Flintstones cartoon. I'm gonna look online and see if I can find a picture of this dude, because basically that is me right now. I am Bad Luck Schlep Rock. It seems like if something could happen, it seems to happen to me. I'm kind of half joking, but half serious too, because then the next guy came and he figured he would try it. So he backed on there, hooked up, went, checked in, came out, and the pump started. So it was just me who had that glitch. I don't know. I am in a real spate of bad luck and misfortune these last few weeks. And I'm not 100% sure why. And like I said, that was part of why I got so frustrated on Tuesday and decided to scrap the whole day's worth of videos, because I actually just really started getting angry and depressed and frustrated, and I didn't want to make a negative video, which this is kind of turning into, because I'm not having much better luck today, but I'm going to try, because I really want to put a video out for you guys. I'd like to do 2 a week like I have been doing, but this week only going to be 1. So now let's see if this guy gets going, because right now I don't have any visibility to my right. There's nothing coming from my left, but I can't see to the right if anything is coming, and nothing appears to be coming, so we are good to go. So we got one more down here. We got to go back up Red Barn, bring one more down here, and then we have Hazelton's, and it's already 11 o'clock. Like I said, I lost a half an hour. I should be at least halfway back up to the well to get my second one. Now I'm just leaving now, so. All right, well, I was going to talk to you outside, but as you can see, one of the other trucks had come in here, so now we're going to talk to you in here quick before he comes in. But when I get back down to the Fogelsville plant, I have to call dispatch. It's almost a repeat of Tuesday when I tried to do video work. The plant in Hazelton is broke down at the moment, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do my Hazeltons or if I'm going to do something else and then do the Hazeltons later. I don't know. I don't know what happened up there, but they're broke down again. Last Tuesday it was the computers for the entire plant on the water receiving side, the pellet receiving side, and the shipping side. All the computer systems went down, so they couldn't do anything. And once they got them up running, then I went up there and started delivering again. So I don't know, we'll see what happens, but I got to deliver this one down there to Fogelsville and then call them and see if we're going to continue at Fogelsville, or maybe go to Reading or go to Allentown, or if they get stuff up and running up there, then we might end up going up there after all. But I talked to the other driver who was up there, and he said he actually filled the silos too while he was there, so there's a chance that maybe we won't go up there if they don't start running and they don't draw any water. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping they don't. Like I said, the weather up there with this wind is going to be pretty brutal, with the snow blowing off the roof and hitting me in the back of the head and getting in the back of the trailer and just falling straight down where we unload. So not really wanting to go up there until the wind subsides and the temperatures warm up a little bit. But we will do what we have to do, but my preference would be to just stay running south today. All right, loaded and rolling, and you can still only load one at a time here, but you can stage 2 trucks. So he hooked up, and now that I'm done, he is loading his truck up. So it kind of alleviates the stacking up of trucks and saves a little bit of time by being able to set up and hook up and be ready to go as soon as the other guy is done. The idea originally was to get to where both trucks could load at the same time, but they need to increase the capacity, the pump capacity. And I think probably need to put a larger line from the silos down to the loading station so that they can actually have that increased capacity. So a number of things, but at least it saves some time and it keeps us from stacking up here on the road in front of that gray house. But we're on our way down with the second one. It is 11:50 already, so going on noon, and only have loaded our second one, but that's, like I said, because we were delayed by a half hour down there by that pump that did not want to start for me. So we'll have to see what happens if I get on that one again, because like I said, the guy that just came here, he was the one that backed onto that one and it worked for him. So I don't know why it didn't work for me, other than the fact that, like I said, I'm bad luck schlep rock. So all right, so we are unloading. We were forced to try number 2 again because there were 2 other trucks here that were on 3 and 4. So we tried number 2, and this time it started up. I don't know what the problem was the first time, why there was a glitch that it didn't want to start, but now it ran. So we're sitting here unloading, and I just figured I'd sit in the truck. The other 2 guys left. I could stand outside and talk to you guys, but it's just kind of cold out there. So I just figured I'd talk to you in here while we're unloading. And I called dispatch. The Hazleton plant is still not up and running, so what we're going to do instead of going up there today is we're going to bring one more down here, and then we're going to scoot over to Reading with one, and then that'll be our day. And like I said, it won't break my heart, because the Hazleton plant is a nice plant to unload at. I like the troughs and the hose setups and everything. It's a nice place to unload at, but this time of year it's just kind of rough. The weather can get really brutal up there, and then when the snow blows off the roof, it just makes it even worse, and it gets kind of miserable. So you know, it's kind of like when I used to go over to the Allentown plant, and I didn't like doing it when I had an 8 because of where we had to get on 22. Otherwise, it was a good customer that I like going to. Same thing up there. I like going up there. It just when the weather's really cold and windy, and it isn't quite so much fun. So I'm not breaking my heart to stay down in the lowlands the rest of today. So all right, so once again we're sitting inside here, and I really don't like recording in here because it does echo, because it's a concrete floor and it's metal walls and a metal ceiling, so there is no like acoustical insulation here whatsoever. But it's just too cold out there with the wind blowing and all that stuff. So we're in here, we're loading up this third one. Wife just called me on her lunch break, so I talked to her a little bit, and we're just waiting until we're done loading. I think I was at 3,200 when I walked in here. I don't know what it is right now because I have my back facing it to talk to you guys, but loading this one up, taking it down, and coming up to the well in the woods like I told you for load number 4 that will go to Reading. So all in all, good day so far. I'm pleased, and things are going well down there. Other than that first one with that little glitch with the pump not starting, it's been going good all day long. Knock on wood. I should probably have not said that, but I did. So we'll see what happens. I might get over there to well in the woods and be behind 2 or 3 trucks. I don't know who all's running that, but he told me that they're going through water pretty good, so he wanted me to take one over there. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, now we gotta wait to get out of here. We got 2 freight haulers checking out with their loads, and then that bulk tanker is there delivering little plastic pellets so that they can make bottles. These guys all make their own bottles. So just like up at Hazleton, they get plastic deliveries. Now, if that guy wasn't there, we're allowed to sidestep the checkout lanes here that the 2 freight haulers are in. Nothing is ever said we're allowed to do it because we're part of production, but everything blocked up, so here we sit. But we're unloaded, empty, and trying to get out of here. I couldn't really talk to you because another driver had come in while right behind me, pretty much hot on my heels. So I couldn't talk to you. Plus, and he was having trouble. I was on pump number 2 and I couldn't get started this morning, and then he had trouble on pump 3 with getting started, and it took a while, and then this time they were able to get him set up, and actually he didn't have to move over like I did. But same problem. He went in and checked in and came out, and the pump wouldn't start. So I don't know what the problem is. I mean, they are old pumps. They've been around for a while. They've been rebuilt, but they're still the original pumps. So a little long in the tooth, but they get the job done. But there are issues, and the cold weather isn't helping any. They're outside So they're out in the cold, and it just takes its toll on everything. Like I told you about my daughter's water line from the street into the house freezing up. And this cold weather just causes problems with everything. So, but anyway, now we're on the move. That guy was finished up, and all you gotta do is go up to the well in the woods, grab one, and take that over to Reading, deliver it, and then we'll be done for the day, and we'll be done for the week. Like I told you this morning, it's Thursday, but it's my Friday because we gotta take the wife to the doctor tomorrow. All right, we'll talk to you on the way or up there loading. All right, coming off the Schuylkill County side of the Blue Mountain, you can come up here to 895, hook a left, head on out to the well in the woods. Made pretty good time coming up this way. We didn't get behind any of these trucks until we actually got to the mountain, and we were able to pass a few of them. It's bumpy here, trying to avoid the bumps, but then here comes a school bus. The other side's worse. There's a spot over there with a couple of big potholes that haven't been plugged up yet. Sometimes they come out with cold patch even in these winter months and plug up some of the potholes, but they haven't been patched yet. So a little rough. You got to kind of straddle the zipper to miss the potholes. But so here we go. Make the left. Go out this 895 here. Nothing coming, so we got a clean turn, sort of. Cleanish turn. She's there. He's there. But I don't know who's out here. I don't know who's running the Reading customer today. I think a lot of people were. So I know one might be out here. Let's see, 316. Oh God, I mean, it could be anybody. There could be a couple trucks out here, judging by the time. 2 p.m. driver, he would get over here about 2:30 if he's leaving on time. We got our 1 day shift guy that starts at 6 a.m. He should still be out, probably getting his last load right about now. So I don't know who's going to be out there, if anybody, but probably somebody will. We'll probably have to wait on somebody. But, we'll see when we get there. See the snow flurries today. There were some flurries when I was coming to work in the morning, and we really didn't see any more snow flurries the rest of the day. Now, I don't know what we would have had up in Hazleton, but we really didn't see any down this way. There were some times it looked like it might have snow squalled. It got gray and had some heavy clouds, but for the most part, nothing fell from the sky down here in the lowlands, and that's a good thing too. Not that flurries add up to anything, it's just a morale beater. When you hate winter like I do, seeing flurries or any kind of snow falling from the sky can get you depressed. But no, all good today. Partly sunny, partly cloudy. Just a little on the chilly side yet, but above freezing, so that's good. Yeah, nobody's here. That's a good thing. I fully expected there to be at least one truck here loading. So I'm pleasantly surprised. Looks like the thaw is happening here a little bit. Looks a little bit muddy here right in front of the concrete pad where we turn. Probably a bit of chewing up the layer of dirt that's on top, or mud, or whatever you want to call it, that's partially thawed out, and everything else. We're probably frozen down 3 feet by now, but the surface is starting to thaw out in places a little bit. So looked a little chewed up, and that's just going to get worse and worse and worse until we melt all this stuff. And I haven't been here for a week, so looks like the pad itself is still plenty icy. And I can't even tell where the storm sewer is. The drain looks like I'm gonna back on over it. Or is it, what am I? It looks like there's just potholes forming in the ice. I guess, I don't know. Looks like I'm way off. No, I guess I'm not. I don't know. They're kind of messed up looking. Boy, is there a lot of ice back there. There isn't even a curb. Oh man, I gotta pull forward. Where am I at here? Where's the end of this concrete pad? Kind of knew where I needed to be. The ice is as thick as the curb is back there, so I don't know where to put myself. I guess we'll try that. Might be right, might not be right. I don't know. All right, well, I forgot to grab the microphone receiver off the windshield camera, so I'm gonna do this one sans microphone, just using the phone mic. But we're here loading, and another driver came in now, so we're not gonna be able to talk very long. He's gonna back up and get hooked up and preload for his night shift partner. So, but we're here loading. Nobody was here. He got here after I did, so we're in good shape, and we'll talk to you on the road going down to Reading. All right, we are loaded and rolling, and I don't know where that guy up there is going. He came in here. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's gonna go over to the Red Barn and load. I'm not sure why, but he's going over to the Red Barn to load. He's not gonna wait for the other guy that's loading here. I hope the Reading customer didn't fill up. This guy, you know, he probably should have told me if it did, and I'll have to call one of our other drivers and see what's going on over there. I know the guy that backed in while I was loading, he goes over to Reading exclusively, and he didn't say anything about him being full. He didn't ask me where I was going, so I don't know what the story is. But that guy scooted on out of there, and he's going to load over Red Barn. I don't know if he's going to go down to Fogelsville with that, or if he's going to take it down to Reading, because you can load Red Barn to Reading. It just has to go in a certain silo. These loads out of this well can go in either silo 1 or 2. Loads out of the Red Barn have to go into silo 2. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's getting a little bit rougher there. But anyway, we are headed out the lane. And we'll see what we get when we get there. Like I said, when I get out onto the main road and I get a little signal, I'm going to call our one driver who I think was running out there and find out what the silo status is. You know, I wish I could call him right from here. I could try, but I don't think I have signal. Because if they're full, then I'll take this right back to Fogelsville. So, all right, we'll talk to you later. I am going to try and make that phone call anyway. All right, so I finally got a hold of our other driver. It takes me all the way to New Ringgold to get a hold of him because there's no signal out there. And he said the silos are hovering right around 50,000 gallons, both of them. So whether or not they're going to have room for me, I don't know, because there's another 8 ahead of me that's going in there to unload. So I don't know what he's going to do to it. I may end up having to sit there and wait a little bit, depending on how full they are. I'll have to look and see which silo is forward than the other as to which one I want to go to. Now, I would prefer to go to silo 1. That's the one closest to the building, because that hose is a lot easier to work with, as I've told you in the past. But going to this well, I can use either silo, which is why I asked them if I could go to this one instead of staying at the Red Barn. That way it gave me an option. So we'll have to see. It's gonna stink if they're so full that I can't unload right away. That would have been better for me just to take a 4th load down to Fogelsville, but he said they were using water fairly well, so that's why he sent me over here with one. Now we'll see what happens, I guess. this hill is going to be fun. When this snow starts melting, this hill is going to be fun because the water runs down across the road right about here. Somewhere right in here, I forget where, but the water runs clean across the road and it freezes up at night after the sun goes down, and then there's problems out here with ice. I know it, I've experienced it in the past. It's just the way the road goes and how the runoff happens when the snow melts. So PennDOT going to be out here salting the heck out of this hill next week when it's 45 in the afternoon and then maybe 25 at night in the early morning. So, like I said, I've seen it before, I've experienced it. I didn't get stuck, I didn't wipe out, but I have puckered a little bit because I was trying to get a run for that hill, and all of a sudden there was glare ice, and I was like, oh boy! And well, I got over it without spinning out or anything like that, but it can be a problem. So, but anyway, we're making our way across here to 61, and then we'll get on 61 southbound, go down through all those little towns before we get to Reading, and hope for the best when we get there. Alright, well those two numbers tell the tale. Silo 1, 65,400, almost 500. Silo 2, 67,000. I'm unloading right now, but it's going to be real close to hitting the safeties, which are 68 and change on each of them. So I called my dispatcher to tell him how full they were, and he said that they're supposed to be running, but they weren't. So then I called the driver that's going to be coming in behind me to tell him that I might still be here when he gets here, that the silos were almost full, and he'd been doing this for a number of years and knew where the safety was, and he said that he thinks I may be able to get my entire load in before I hit the safety shutoff. We will see. Hopefully, because if I don't, then I'm going to have to sit and wait for him to come down, and I don't know how many hours that's going to take. Hopefully I can get the bulk of this load off, if anything, that maybe 500 gallon would be left, and I'll just run that back to the shop and dump it back there, because I'm not going to sit for hours to unload 500 gallons. Besides, I don't know, but yeah, precarious perch we're sitting on here at the end of the day. I don't know. I'm watching the hose. It looks like there's still flow going out of it. I'll have to go out and check. It's still bouncing around, so there's still water being drawn out of my truck and into the silos. So hopefully I can get this whole thing unloaded. Now he's going to have to wait, I mean, because they're going to be full when he gets here, but he told me he thought that if I got started I'd be able to unload all of it. So we will see. Alright, so we are empty, we're rolling, we're heading up here toward Leesport right now. It did indeed take it. When it shut off, both silos were at 68.5, so there was only, or 67.5, so there was only about 500 gallon left in each silo before it would have shut down and I wouldn't have completely unloaded. But I got completely unloaded, and thanks to that other guy, like I said, he had worked for a different company, but he had been running in there for like 4 years, so he knew how much the silos would hold before they hit the safety cutoff, which I didn't. And when I told him what the numbers were, he said that there would be enough room for me to get unloaded, and there was. So all's good, and I kind of panicked a little bit, thinking I was going to sit down there for hours. Now he's going to probably, which sucks, but there's not much that can be done about it. If they're not running the water, then they're not running the water, and it is what it is. But there was just enough room for me to get mine unloaded. And I guess the caveat to that is at least he's just coming on shift now, whereas I'm at the end of my shift. So whether that means anything or not, in the scheme of politeness, I don't know. And he's a really nice guy. He'll always lend you a helping hand and stuff, so I hate the fact that now he's going to have to sit down there, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? If the plant is not running water, then the plant is not running water. So, but we're on our way back. I don't know. The sun would get out from underneath that cloud to our left, might catch a pretty nice sunset on the way up, but I don't think so. There might be just too much clouds there where the sun is setting to get some light underneath these things any better than what it is. Boy, I feel bad that dude's got to sit down there and wait because the silos are full. It's not my fault, but I still feel bad about it. But anyway, we're headed back north, and you know the routine. We'll fuel this thing up and put some DEF in it for her, so she'll be good to go for her shift. And then I'm off tomorrow, so I have a couple extra days to work on this video, get it up on the tube for you guys. All right, so all we need to do is fuel. Well, let's see, nothing coming from the left, nothing coming from the right. Get across here, get in here and top off for my night shift partner. Oh, one of our other company truck, not our company, but one of the other company trucks is in here fueling right now. Wonder who it is. At least he's on that pump. I don't mind being on that pump, but I prefer this one. This one's the easier one to work with. So somebody must have been on this one when he came in, and that's why he's over there. So, all right, we are gonna fuel her up, and then we'll talk to you back at the shop. All right, so fueling is complete. DEF is complete. Post-trip is complete. Paperwork is complete. All we got to do is go inside, turn everything in, and then we're going to head home. Longish weekend, like I told you. Tomorrow we're off to take the wife to the doctor and find out when she's going to have her knee surgery. And so that's it for this week. And we won't know what we're going to do until tomorrow night, so I won't be able to tell you anything, but that's it for this week. We'll talk to you in the next one day next week. Don't know what day I'll start filming again.